Hello there, I'm Black Bright News, and I call myself Black Bright News because basically news tends to be dark and depressing, and I like to give it a lighter-hearted spin on it. I give my opinion on different news articles, and that's what I do. So today I'm going to discuss this. Well, just give my thoughts on it. In the Metro, my favourite paper because I get it free. But the title says Taliban Museum displays weapons of war. The text reads, Taliban rulers in Afghanistan have opened several museums displaying barrel bombs, explosive devices, and suicide vests used in decades of war. Victims' families spoke of their horror, accusing officials of glorifying decades of insurgency against US and NATO-backed forces before the militants returned to power in 2021. In Moldan Wardak province, the Mujahid Museum houses 33 items, including an M16 rifle taken from US soldiers and insurgents' grenades. One section preserves historical artifacts, while another showcases weapons taken from occupiers and those built by our Mujahideen to defeat them, said the Ministry of Culture. However, one survivor told Amu TV, turning the symbols of death into museums only deepens our pain. And I can imagine seeing weapons of war that have destroyed your family and friends would be very painful. But I find the article quite provocative, and that's why I decided to talk about it, because there is no such thing as a Taliban museum. Let me read my notes. There isn't a dedicated Taliban museum in Afghanistan. Instead, the Taliban now control the National Museum of Afghanistan in Kabul, which they previously looted and attempted to destroy. While the museum reopened under their rule, it is not a Taliban-centric institution, but rather the repository of Afghanistan's diverse cultural heritage, which the Taliban have historically opposed but now seem to be guarding. So, I think to call it a Taliban museum is a bit provocative. But anyway, why do we have museums, and why do museums exhibit weapons of war? So, museums display weapons to serve as storytelling tools illustrating technological evolution, cultural practices, social history, and the human experiences of power, conflict, and survival. So, we were talking about 33 weapons exhibited in that Afghanistan museum. And let's put it into context now. The Bundeswehr Military History Museum is one of the major military history museums in Germany and has an extensive firearms collection with over 4,250 rifles, carbines, machine guns, plus more than 3,250 handguns like pistols and revolvers, along with around 1,700 cutting, stabbing weapons like swords and sabres. 33 versus 4,250. So we're putting it into context here. The Imperial War Museum and family of museums in the UK exhibit approximately 155,000 weapons, artillery and ammunition to record civil and military war effort and sacrifice of the United Kingdom and its empire during the First World War, which includes the iconic HMS Belfast. There are also concentration of war museums in cities like Berlin. I couldn't get any specific because there's so many museums. I couldn't really find how many war artifacts are in them, but you can imagine. It's going to be more than 33 for a start. Budapest Military Museum focuses on World War II and is located in Hungary. It displays hundreds of military items and thousands of models, indicating a very large collection of weapons across Hungary's various military museums and institutions, including the Military Museum of Oroszka. So, the British Museum, which boasts a vast collection from various world cultures and time periods, includes ancient Egypt, Greece, Rome and the Americas, and even though it's not a war museum, Its collection includes at least 6,000 items of arms and armour, which are displayed among the museum's 8 million objects. Though only approximately 80,000 war objects are on public display at any given time. The exact number of weapons displayed varies due to the rotational exhibitions and the nature of the collection. So I'm sure you can agree with me that the exhibition of 33 war artifacts in Afghanistan is small fry by comparison. So, once again, why do they even have to exhibit war weapons when they're designed to kill? Well, apparently it has historical and cultural value. Showcasing human ingenuity, weapons reveal how people throughout history have solved problems, innovated, and developed technology to address needs for self-defense, hunting, or warfare. So what they're doing is they're boasting at the ways that people have learned how to kill with weapons. That's what it says in a nutshell. Understanding cultural practices, weapons are integral to the study of many cultures, reflecting their unique approaches to life, knowledge, and craftsmanship. In other words, they are looking at all the ways different cultures try to kill or learn to kill through weapons. And illustrating social and military history, weapons are often central to exhibitions about specific historical periods and social structures, and military campaigns helping to explain the context of conflicts and societal change. A lot of hogwash, but all it's talking about here is the history of how people kill each other and learning from it. But do they learn from it? All they do is try and improve it and make it even more sophisticated, or even find more sophisticated ways of killing people. So they're learning from the past and they're bringing it into the present. So what do we have now? Nuclear bombs and goodness knows what. Anyway, so exhibiting weapons of war as a storytelling and interpretation device. Weapons are objects designed to take or protect life, offering a powerful connection to the people who made and used them. So it's interesting because obviously people started off with maybe bits of wood to kill people. They thought that was a bit primitive. They wanted that you're in too close a proximity. You might miss, they might kill you. So people have learned to be further and further away and still be able to kill their target. And that is what they're talking about, ingenuity, being able to create weapons that can kill from a distance. You can keep safe, but your target is very likely to be killed. So by displaying weapons within their historical context, museums can explain complex events, social issues and cultural phenomena that are hard to grasp otherwise. So whilst it is painful for those survivors in Afghanistan, centuries later, it will be viewed in a historical context. By examining how different cultures have created and used weapons, museums provide insights into the complexities of warfare and violence, allowing for a deeper understanding of the past and its connection to the present. So bearing all that in mind, what do you think of that article? Do you think it was fairly published, or do you think it could have been putting some kind of context? And I think that's all I'm going to say for now. It's the weekend. Have a wonderful day. And that's all for now. Black Bright News, over and out.